person who has set up this wonderful exhibition. Can you explain about these maps and the blobs and dots?
Well, what we're trying to do is to make the exhibition more interactive for local people, really, so they don't just come in the space and walk out through the other side without remaining and discussing their own lives, you know, their own past. So what I've found is that people engaging with the maps will start to remember things like shops and cinemas, places that areas that they grew up in, really. So the maps really are a way of keeping them in the space, really. And once we start to ask them to put stickers on where they lived, and it sort of encourages people to remember other families in the area, or, you know, places, factories people worked in, or things that they might remember, really. It's an open-ended research technique, really. It's sort of developed through looking at the District 6 Museum in South Africa, and I suppose looking what they've done, looking at the way they've used their floor maps as interactive maps for audiences to engage with. So it's sort of taken from that, and then as well we worked with Salford Lads Club on Architecture Week and Heritage Open Days. Leslie also has worked doing those kind of techniques. So lots of other similar projects have taken place, but I think each one is very subtly different, but it's just trying to add to other things that have already been done, really, in Salford, I suppose, and develop the project by making contacts with other groups.
Married my grandfather, but as a child I found out that my grandma was an orphan because her mother and father died young, and there was two boys and my grandma as children, and they finished up, they had to go in an orphanage, but the orphanage, as I realised, wasn't called an orphanage, it was Swinton Industrial School, which is more the same, like a workhouse kind of thing, which is now, the building's gone, but it is now Swinton Town Hall. It's there now, but it's on the grounds of where the industrial school was. I think it would be called Pendlebury, but it's Swinton Industrial School it was called. And when she was a child, with her brothers, they'd be segregated naturally, the girls would be in one part, boys would be in another, and they had to work.
You don't even see it, there's not a shop in the area at all now, called shops. Also in the 70s, flats here at Court, they were built in 1965 to rehouse the people from the slum clearances van. Of course, 2005, they were taken down, they don't exist anymore. So it's quite a different picture. With my photography, I tend to be drawn to empty places and empty spaces. For example, like with the pictures of the interior of Hanover Court. On the day I actually went in there, what happened was flats were opened up for the first time in 18 months, 2 years, 2.5 years. They remained empty. So it's literally like walking into a sealed, well, a tomb that had been opened up. It's quite a surreal experience.
Lawrence's work is very much about Salford as a place, as an identity. This work isn't really, it's more about these images, they could be about anywhere. I mean, it's an industrial landscape, but it could be Cardiff, it could be anywhere. But at the same time, they are the photographic pieces that have been reworked with different materials, so they are of a specific place, even though the sense of it is that it could be anywhere. It's just the industrial landscape, even though they are specifically at Salford. But that wasn't my intention.
And they used to come round every week collecting money off her. We used to go round in the car sometimes with the club people. They used to give us a ride round, I think to make friends with my mum, so she could buy more stuff off them, really. We used to have a day out with the club. A woman taking us round. Yeah.
Did many people have cars in those days?
No.
No.
We had one of the neighbours used to take us out sometimes, and the roads used to be empty. Just go for miles and miles and not see cars. Great. All cobbled streets and everything.
So where did you go in the neighbour's car then?
One of the neighbours from Chestnut Street had a car, and they took us out in that. Like, don't know where we went, but out into the country in front.
Country, yeah.
And it's like miles and miles.
No, it was only up the road.
Yeah, but there was no trouble there, not like there is now with graffiti and all that type of stuff.
Nice.
We used to keep them clear down the road.
Is that what you said were like lodging houses?
No.
They belonged to,
They were like apartments.
Yeah, but it was corporation, they was rented.
But they called them the
It was
dwellings.
called dwellings.
Where we lived, today they call them, they were lodging houses. Where there'd be about half a dozen families living in one house. We had the front room downstairs and one bedroom. And the use of the kitchen. But there would be about 5 or 6 families living in it. But the dwellings, wonderful building.
Yes.
So my mum never got that.
But, I mean,
Well, when we moved to Sussex Street, we had a lovely house there. That was a nice house. And then we moved to Camp Street. No, I only have a big house.
there was big houses on campus, very big houses. That's near the park, Albert Park.
That's what I said, didn't I? Yeah.
Very big houses. But you want to go down there and have a look. Have you been down now?
Yeah, we came down Camp Street on the way here.
It's been demolished,
Vandalised.
rebuilt, demolished again, and they're rebuilding it now.